The rain fell in sheets as Marcus fumbled with his grocery bags, his worn jacket doing little to shield him from the downpour. Exhausted after working a double shift and picking up essentials for his daughter's birthday tomorrow, he just wanted to get home. Through the blur of rain, he spotted what he thought was his old blue sedan, clicked his key fob, and slid into the driver's seat, only to freeze at the unfamiliar leather interior and lingering scent of expensive perfume. Before he could process his mistake, a sharp knock on the window revealed a striking woman in a tailored suit, her expression a mixture of confusion and irritation. Little did Marcus know, this moment of mistaken identity would change both their lives forever.
If you enjoying this story so far, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming content that remind us how an unexpected encounter transforms our life in beautiful ways.
Marcus Parker had been barely keeping it together since his wife's death 3 years ago. At 34, he juggled 2 jobs while raising 8-year-old Lily, who deserved so much more than their cramped apartment and his perpetual exhaustion. Tonight was especially important. Tomorrow was Lily's birthday, and despite his financial struggles, he'd promised to make it special. "I'm so sorry," Marcus stammered as he scrambled out of the luxury SUV, rainwater dripping from his hair onto the pristine leather seats. "I thought this was my car. They look similar from a distance in this weather." Alexandra Chen, CEO of Horizon Innovations, had been having a particularly challenging day. 3 back-to-back meetings with difficult investors, a product launch delay, and now this, a soaking wet stranger in her vehicle. She should have been furious, but something in the man's tired eyes and genuine embarrassment softened her response. "It's fine," she said, more curtly than intended. "Just be more careful next time." As Marcus gathered his grocery bags, one tore open, sending a small birthday cake box sliding across the wet pavement. The pink frosting was visible through the clear top, now cracked and ruined. "No, no, no," Marcus whispered, dropping to his knees regardless of the puddles. That was for Lily's birthday tomorrow. Alexandra watched as this stranger knelt in the rain, carefully trying to salvage a child's birthday cake. His shoulders slumped in defeat when he saw it was beyond repair. Something about his desperation struck a chord deep within her. "Wait," she called as he began walking away, head down. "Let me help." Marcus turned, confusion evident on his face. "I'm sorry. My driver can take you home, and we can stop for a replacement cake on the way." Under normal circumstances, Marcus would have politely declined. His pride had taken enough hits. But tonight, with Lily's birthday hanging in the balance and the rain showing no signs of letting up, he reluctantly accepted. The ride in Alexandra's luxury vehicle was silent at first. Marcus sat uncomfortably, acutely aware of his wet clothes on the expensive leather. Alexandra studied him from the corner of her eye, noting his calloused hands and the dark circles under his eyes. "I'm Alexandra Chen," she finally said. "Marcus Parker," he replied. "And I really appreciate this, but it's not necessary." "How old is your daughter turning?" 9, he answered, a small smile breaking through his exhaustion. "She's the brightest kid you'll ever meet. Wants to be a scientist someday." Alexandra's interest piqued. "Really? What kind of science?" "Astronomy. She's obsessed with stars and planets. Keeps a telescope by her window even though we can barely see anything from our apartment." As they stopped at an upscale bakery, far nicer than the grocery store cake Marcus had originally purchased, Alexandra found herself genuinely curious about this single father and his science-loving daughter. "So you're raising her alone?" she asked as they waited for the new cake. Marcus nodded, his eyes fixed on the bakery display. "Her mother passed away from cancer 3 years ago. Emma was everything to us. The medical bills nearly bankrupted me, but that wasn't what mattered. Lily lost her mom, and I lost my best friend." Alexandra felt a pang in her chest. Her own life had been dedicated to building her company, leaving little room for personal connections. At 42, she had achieved remarkable success but returned each night to an empty penthouse apartment. "I'm sorry for your loss," she said, meaning it. "Your daughter is lucky to have a father who works so hard for her." Marcus gave a tired laugh. "Some days I wonder if she'd be better off with someone who could give her more. I'm a mechanic by day, security guard by night. Not exactly the role model for a future scientist." "You underestimate yourself," Alexandra replied. "Determination and sacrifice are valuable lessons too." Inside Marcus's modest apartment, Lily was being watched by their elderly neighbor, Mrs. Gonzalez. The little girl's eyes widened at the sight of the elaborate cake and the elegantly dressed woman accompanying her father. "Daddy, who's this?" Lily asked, her curious eyes taking in Alexandra's tailored suit and confident posture. "This is Ms. Chen. She helped me when I had a little accident with your original cake." Alexandra knelt to Lily's level, something she rarely did with anyone. "Your dad tells me you like astronomy." "I studied astrophysics before going into business." Lily's face lit up. "Really? Do you know about black holes and neutron stars?" For the next hour, Alexandra found herself engaged in conversation with an 8-year-old about cosmic phenomena, while Marcus prepared a simple dinner. He insisted Alexandra stay, and to her own surprise, she accepted. As they ate, Alexandra learned more about Marcus's struggle. After Emma's death, he'd sold their small house to pay off medical debts, moving Lily to this apartment in a less desirable neighborhood but closer to her school. He worked as a mechanic during the day and a security guard at night, sleeping only a few hours between shifts. "You make it work," he said simply. For her. Alexandra thought about her own life, successful by conventional standards but increasingly hollow. She had built Horizon Innovations from the ground up, transforming it from a small tech startup to a global leader in sustainable technology. Her face had been on the cover of business magazines, and her net worth was substantial. Yet sitting in this small apartment, watching the bond between father and daughter, she felt a strange emptiness. When it was time to leave, Alexandra impulsively handed Marcus her business card. "If you ever need anything," she said, then added, "and I mean that." Marcus accepted it with a nod, certain he would never call. His pride wouldn't allow it. 2 days later, Marcus's car broke down completely. The timing belt snapped, causing engine damage that would cost more than the vehicle was worth. With no savings for repairs and public transportation adding hours to his commute, he was at risk of losing his day job. After much internal debate and a sleepless night, he called the number on Alexandra's card. To his surprise, she answered personally and immediately arranged for her company's mechanic to fix his car. When she learned about his night job as a security guard, she made another offer. "Horizon needs security personnel, and the pay is better than what you're making now. Plus, the hours would let you be home with Lily in the evenings." Marcus was hesitant to accept what felt like charity, but Alexandra was persistent. "This isn't charity, Marcus. I need good people, and you need a better situation. It's business." The truth was, Alexandra had been thinking about Marcus and Lily more than she cared to admit. Something about their situation, and the warmth of their small home despite their struggles, had stayed with her. Marcus's first day at Horizon was intimidating. The gleaming corporate headquarters was a far cry from the warehouse where he'd previously worked security. Employees in expensive suits passed him in the hallways, and he felt painfully out of place in his new uniform. "Mr. Parker," a voice called. It was Alexandra, dressed impeccably in a burgundy suit, her dark hair pulled back in a sleek ponytail. "Welcome to Horizon. How's the first day going?" "It's different," he admitted. "But good. Thank you for the opportunity." She smiled. "I have meetings all day, but perhaps you could join me for lunch tomorrow? I'd like to hear how things are going once you've settled in." That lunch became a regular occurrence. Once a week, Alexandra would make time in her packed schedule to meet with Marcus. Their conversations ranged from company security protocols to Lily's latest science project. Alexandra found herself looking forward to these meetings, a respite from the high-stakes business dealings that filled her days. For Marcus, these lunches were both a pleasure and a source of confusion. Alexandra was his boss, technically his boss's boss's boss, and yet there was an ease between them that defied professional boundaries. He found himself sharing things he hadn't told anyone since Emma died, his fears about raising Lily alone, his dreams of returning to school someday, the guilt he carried for not being able to save his wife. Over the following months, Marcus proved himself an exceptional employee. His attention to detail and work ethic impressed everyone, including Alexandra, who found herself creating excuses to check in on the security department. For her part, Lily had found a mentor in Alexandra. The CEO arranged for the young girl to visit Horizon's research division, where scientists were developing satellite technology. Alexandra even gifted Lily a professional-grade telescope for Christmas, along with astronomy books that the child devoured. "You didn't have to do that," Marcus said when Alexandra delivered the telescope. "It's too much." Alexandra shook her head. "Do you know how rare it is to find a young girl so passionate about science? I wish I'd had someone encouraging me at her age." As winter turned to spring, Alexandra realized something had shifted in her own life. She was leaving the office earlier, declining unnecessary business trips, and spending more evenings with Marcus and Lily. Their small apartment had become a refuge from the high-pressure world she normally inhabited. One evening, after helping Lily with her science homework, Alexandra found herself alone with Marcus in the kitchen. "You've changed," he observed, handing her a cup of coffee. "When we first met, I thought you were just another corporate executive too busy for real life." Alexandra laughed. "I was. Still am, sometimes. But you and Lily, you remind me there's more to life than quarterly reports and shareholder meetings." Marcus hesitated, then asked the question that had been on his mind. "Why us? You could spend your free time anywhere, with anyone." Alexandra considered this. "Because with you, I'm just Alexandra. Not CEO Chen or Ms. Chen or any of the other titles I carry. And because..." She paused, suddenly vulnerable, "because I've never met anyone like you, Marcus. Someone who gives so much without expecting anything in return." The air between them changed, charged with unspoken feelings. Marcus took a step closer, then stopped himself. "I should check on Lily," he said, breaking the moment. Alexandra nodded, both relieved and disappointed. Whatever was developing between them was complicated by their professional relationship and the differences in their lives. At Horizon, rumors began to circulate about the CEO's special interest in a security guard. Alexandra ignored them, but Marcus felt the stares and whispers. Some colleagues were openly hostile, assuming he was receiving special treatment. "Maybe we should be more careful," he suggested during one of their lunches. "People are talking." Alexandra's expression hardened. "Let them talk. I don't answer to gossip." But the situation grew more complex when Horizon's board of directors questioned Alexandra's recent changes. She had been turning down international opportunities and delegating responsibilities she previously handled personally. Her focus on work-life balance was new and, to some board members, concerning. "Is there something we should know about your relationship with an employee named Marcus Parker?" the board chairman asked during a private meeting. Alexandra maintained her composure. "Mr. Parker is an exemplary employee whose daughter shows remarkable aptitude for science. I've taken a personal interest in mentoring her, as part of our company's commitment to encouraging women in STEM fields." The explanation was accepted, if somewhat skeptically. But Alexandra left the meeting troubled. She had built her career on being uncompromising and focused solely on Horizon's success. Now, for the first time, her personal life was influencing her professional decisions. That night, she cancelled her plans with Marcus and Lily, citing work commitments. It wasn't entirely untrue, there was always work to be done, but it was also an excuse to create distance while she sorted through her feelings. For 3 weeks, Alexandra limited her interactions with Marcus to brief, professional exchanges. She missed their lunches, missed Lily's excited updates about school, missed the warmth of their small apartment. But she told herself it was necessary. Her company needed her full attention, and Marcus deserved someone who wouldn't complicate his life with corporate politics. Marcus noticed the change immediately. The woman who had become such an important part of their lives had suddenly retreated behind a wall of professionalism. Lily asked about her constantly. "When is Ms. Alex coming over again? She promised to help me with my science fair project." "She's very busy, sweetheart," Marcus would answer, hiding his own disappointment. Running a big company takes a lot of time. The distance might have continued indefinitely if not for Lily's science fair. Despite Alexandra's absence, the girl had completed her project on stellar evolution, inspired by their conversations. When she won first place, the first person she wanted to tell was Alexandra. "Can I call her, Dad? Please?" Marcus couldn't refuse his daughter's excited request. When Alexandra answered, Lily's news tumbled out in a rush of enthusiasm. "I won first place. The judges said my presentation on how stars are born and die was the best they'd ever seen from a fourth grader. And I told them how you explained neutron stars to me, and they were super impressed." Alexandra felt a surge of pride, followed by shame at her recent distance. "That's wonderful, Lily. I knew you could do it. Will you come see it? They're displaying all the winning projects at school tomorrow night." There was a pause, and Marcus, who could hear the conversation, prepared to comfort his daughter through the inevitable disappointment. But Alexandra surprised them both. "I wouldn't miss it for the world." The science fair was held in the elementary school gymnasium, decorated with colorful projects and filled with proud parents. When Alexandra arrived, having rescheduled a major investor meeting, she felt oddly nervous. This wasn't her world of corporate boardrooms and power dynamics. Here, she was simply a guest in Lily's life. Lily spotted her immediately and ran over, grabbing her hand to pull her toward her display. "Come see. Come see." The project was impressive, a detailed model of stellar evolution with careful labels and scientific explanations that went well beyond fourth-grade curriculum. Alexandra knelt beside the display, asking questions and praising Lily's work, while Marcus watched from a few steps away. "She's been working on it for weeks," he said when Alexandra joined him. "Wouldn't let me help at all, said it had to be perfect for you to see." Alexandra felt a lump in her throat. "I'm sorry I've been distant. Things at work became complicated." "Because of me," Marcus said, not a question but a statement. "Because of choices I'm making," Alexandra corrected. "Choices I don't regret." After the science fair, they walked to a nearby ice cream shop to celebrate Lily's victory. As the girl happily devoured a sundae, Alexandra and Marcus sat across from each other, the tension of the past weeks finally breaking. "I missed you," Marcus admitted quietly. "Both of us did." Alexandra reached across the table, taking his hand. "I missed you too. More than I expected to." That night, after Lily had gone to bed, they sat on Marcus's small balcony, looking at the limited view of stars visible through the city lights. "I've been thinking," Alexandra said. "Horizon has a scholarship program for employees' children. It covers private school tuition at Westridge Academy. They have an excellent science program." Marcus stiffened. "Alexandra, I can't accept that. It's not special treatment. It's an established program that any employee can apply for. Lily would qualify based on her academic performance alone." "Even so," Marcus said, "I don't want her to think we need charity." Alexandra turned to face him fully. "Is that what you think this is? Charity?" "I don't know what this is," he admitted. "You're one of the most powerful businesswomen in the country. I'm a mechanic who got lucky with a security job. What are we doing here?" Alexandra was silent for a moment. "When I was building Horizon, I made a choice to put everything else second. Relationships, family, even my own health sometimes. I told myself it was temporary, that once I achieved success, I'd find balance. But success just led to more work, more responsibility. She looked up at the faint stars. Then I met you and Lily. You have so little by conventional standards, but so much of what matters. You've shown me what I've been missing. Marcus's expression softened. And you've shown us possibilities we never imagined. Lily talks about becoming a scientist like it's actually achievable now. It is achievable, Alexandra insisted. She's brilliant. Because of you, Marcus said. You've given her confidence I couldn't. Alexandra shook her head. No. You gave her the foundation, love, security, values. I'm just filling in some details. Their first kiss happened then.